Hello everyone, here we are with Afzan at the Global Empowerment Summit, and this is the evening slot, which is morning for most of the people in the US. It's late afternoon for Hungary and all the other parts of Europe, and also for South Africa, and it's evening time here in Malaysia. Hi Afzan, how are you today?
I'm good, Andrea. How are you?
I'm good also. It's a long day and we still have a workshop with Felix Tai coming up from 8:30 in 30 minutes after your talk. And later on, we will be also on Clubhouse. So if anyone wants to join us, then they can search for the Global Empowerment Hub Club and they can see the rooms that we open. Afzan, I always start with a little bit of introduction, and until the people are tuning in, tell us a little bit more about Afzan, the personality, not really the work, but more like about yourself. What's your favorite color? Where do you go to relax? What's your favorite street in Kuala Lumpur?
I don't have a favorite street in Kuala Lumpur because, to be honest, I don't like big cities. I'm more of a small town, not really small town. I was born in a city, but I don't really like the hustle and bustle of the city so much. My favorite color is pink. Big surprise there. And
Yes, I saw your beautiful pictures on YouTube. I'm checking, and it's all sparkly pink everywhere.
yes. And I love to travel, but I haven't traveled in like 2 years ever since the pandemic started. So that kind of wreaked havoc on my sanity a little bit. Yeah.
So how do you keep it sane? What do you do? Do you dance, or do you just listen to music, or you watch TV series? What do you do?
I yeah, I watch TV a lot. I've turned into a couch potato. Well, when my parents are not here, because when my parents come here to visit, then I lose all control of the TV. So I could not watch TV when they're around. But now they're back to their home, so I have control of the TV again, and that's good news. Not saying that I don't like having them here, just in case they're watching.
That means that they are taking over the TV when they are there.
Well, my father is.
He likes it. What's his favorite TV show? What is he watching?
He likes action series, thrillers, and he doesn't like shows that talks a lot. He's more of an action guy. Mm.
Action movies. I just watched like a very interesting one yesterday. I think the
Mhm.
title was Equilibrium. It's an old movie, and it's about a world where feelings were bad things and they were catching everyone who had feelings. And it was really interesting
Oh.
how they pictured, because they wanted to save the world with this idea, like not having
Mm.
feelings, not having anger, not having
Mm.
happiness, so keeping everyone like blunt. But at the end it turned around, it was not really the good thing to do. So that's
Oh,
kind of an ideological movie, so if I think you would like it.
that sounds a lot like depression, though, when you're not feeling anything.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned, I
Yeah.
mean, it's really close to your topic. And yesterday I was
Mm.
watching it, I was like, well, we will talk about this topic a lot, like feelings, depression, whether we suppress them, whether we bring it forward.
Yeah.
Good. So really nice to have you here. And your topic today is your survivor story.
Mhm.
So introduce us a little bit more about the background so that people can understand the story later.
Okay. I grew up with a normal childhood. And I guess all throughout the years, lived with symptoms of bipolar disorder, only I didn't know, I didn't realize, and nobody even thought that it could be a mental disorder because I have always been bubbly, I've always been talkative. But always remember my dad saying, "Do your teachers understand what you say sometimes? Because sometimes you talk too fast." And it's not just talking too fast, but also the ideas that come out. It's like I'm always jumping from one thing to another, and well, I guess it wouldn't make sense to most people, so that's why he always asked me that. And little did we know that that is actually a symptom when I'm having a hypomanic episode, where all the ideas flow and all the creativities and then racing thoughts, and also my mouth moves faster than my brain, things like that happens. And so I've lived almost all my life not knowing that I was sick until 2019, when a big major event that I don't think I would go through, I would elaborate here, because we only have like 20 minutes and that would probably take 3 hours. So, so a major event happened in 2019, and that, I guess, dragged me down. It triggered one of the most severe episode of depression that I've ever had in my entire life, up to the point that I was already having suicidal thoughts. Not that I really wanted to die per se, but I just felt like the only way to stop this pain that I was feeling was to end it all, was to die. So, and that scared me a lot, and that pushed me to seek professional help. And after a few visits with the psychiatrist, I was diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder. And uh, we discussed a lot. We talked a lot about my past, my history, my childhood, my teenage years, university years. And then that was when we discovered that I have actually been living with the symptoms all my life and didn't know it. And I was diagnosed only 2 years ago. So there you go.
That's the backstory, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
didn't know
Yeah.
it was there, but it was like not aware, or you were not aware of it, and your family was
Yeah.
not aware of it,
Yeah.
right?
I thought I was just weird. Yeah.
So you had
Yeah.
to have this big event so that it bursted out, and then everyone realized that
Yeah,
there is
it
something more
was a
serious.
very major trigger that caused the depressive episode at that time, and that pushed me to seek professional help. And that is also why I started my advocacy, because I want people to get help as soon as they possibly can.
And
Not like me.
what is the thing when people have this problem? Like, are there so people who realize it before they break down, or you have to go through a breakdown to realize that you are having bipolar disorder?
Um, I cannot speak for other people because what I can what I can say is from my experience. Maybe because I was not brought up um, to really understand that there are mental health issues. Um, I guess it's an Asian thing also, that when something happens to you, when you're sad, when you're depressed, and um, you just snap out of it, and it never crossed my mind that it could be an illness, something that needed treatment. And yeah, so I really cannot speak for other people, because maybe some people mm, really already suspected that they have bipolar disorder, because they know the symptoms, they've learned about the illness, and they know the symptoms and they recognize it in themselves. Whereas I never knew what my symptoms were until I was diagnosed, and I learned the symptoms. And that was when I, in hindsight, I identified the symptoms that I experienced before I was diagnosed.
So you were analyzed after you have been meeting with a psychologist and specialist or
Yes.
counselor, then you together realize what are the things that are connected to this, and then later
Yes.
on you were more aware of it when it happened,
Mhm.
right? Because she helped
Yes.
you or he helped you to
Yeah.
realize. That's an important step. So are there
Mhm.
in Asia, Malaysia, a lot of places where people who have similar problems can turn to?
We do have government facilities and also private facilities. So I guess it depends on um, one, whether you have the time to wait. Because when I started seeking medical treatment, I was already having suicidal thoughts. So if I remember, I went to a government facility, and the first doctor's appointment was set 3 months after that first visit to the clinic, after doing all the dust tests and all. And I couldn't wait. If I had waited, I was already having suicidal thoughts. So if I had waited, I don't know probably what would have happened to me. But having said that, I am lucky because I can afford going to private facilities to get mental health care, whereas I know that a lot of people just simply cannot afford it. And I'm not blaming government facilities to an extent, because I know that there is a shortage of mental health experts like psychiatrists, psychologists in the government facilities. So that is something that we all have to understand, but the government also need to address that, because mental health issues among Malaysians are on the rise, especially since the pandemic started. um yeah, and but at the same time, if you don't feel like you want to go seek medical treatment, you can always find NGOs that can help you, talk to you and just listen to what you have to say. Like for example, the NGO that I'm volunteering with now, Yayasan Zuriat Care, we have Camellia, which I'm the head of, Campaign for Mental Illness, Inclusivity and Awareness. It's a new program under Yayasan Zuriat Care. So I'm going to I'm planning to do a whole lot of things under Camellia. And we also have AWAS, which is Awareness Against Suicide Malaysia, led by a colleague of mine, Puan Alia. And so you can always just contact us and, reach out and just talk. And we will listen to what you have to say, no judgment. And yeah, it's important that you reach out for help if you feel that you might have mental health issues.
From next week on, we will also have our secret rooms. I call them secret rooms. It's kind of like a crisis room where people can
Mhm.
come in anonymously and ask their questions from
Yes.
counselors like you, like Alia, like anyone who will be available during those times. So it's good to have a place where people can turn to, right? And
Yes.
it's good that you and other people like Alia are doing amazing work in this field. It's something that it takes a lot of courage also, I believe, because whenever I
Um,
went into this area as a person who is an outsider and a very emotional person, it's really hard weight to carry. When you
mhm.
meet the people who are suffering with these kind of problems, it's really, and for an empathetic person, it's really a kind of like a heavy weight on the shoulder,
Yep.
right?
Yes. See, I have just been certified as a mental health first aider in June, and one of the things that I learned is that every time we somebody like unloads on us, it's important for us as the first aider to debrief so that we don't take it with us, because we are humans and we tend to absorb what the other person is feeling. So it is important to debrief so that we don't how to say so that we don't drag ourselves down together with what the other person is going through. Mm,
Exactly, and then
mm,
it's most of the time also people like you are having some backgrounds with this issue also, right? This problem.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that you are also sensible on some triggers, and it's very noble from you to to
Oh.
risk all the balance that you have also as a person who is also herself struggling. And but in a way, I believe it's also something that people who are not suffering from bipolar disorder cannot
Mm.
understand, and only those people who have it can understand what is the other person going through, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, helping others help me. It helps me heal. Yeah, because in a way, I feel like I'm not alone because I know there are other people out there who are going through the same thing as I am. And when I help my peers, it helps me definitely.
And I always so like the way that you opened up. I know that Asia, I'm a foreigner, so in Europe it's totally different. We always speak up, and people are more open about the problems. There is also a little bit of, shaming or status or
Mm.
symbol, and they don't tell, but most of the time it's okay to speak up. But here in this part of the world, it's really hard to speak up about even like normal relationship problem, not just tell it that it's about some
Yeah.
mental health issues. So, what would you say to people who are really, they just like at the edge of speaking up, but they are really discouraged by by their environment, by the people, by the society? So, what is the first step? Where can they start?
Well, to be honest, first thing is you have to be honest with yourself because, regardless of what other people are saying, you yourself know deep down that you have issues. And you don't, and I understand some people have the need for privacy and anonymity. So I think it is okay if you don't want to make yourself known because that is your right to keep everything private and personal. But whatever it is, just don't go through it alone. Um, Confidentiality is important to us in the mental health field, where even as a mental health first aider, I cannot reveal who you are to anyone. I cannot share a story with anyone without your permission. So yeah, just don't suffer alone. Reach out for help, and there's always a way out.
And tell us about your story, because your story is like a survivor story. You are all the
Mhm.
time on social media, you are helping others, you are working actively, you are
Mhm.
really bubbly and funny, and really the person who is looking like a very outgoing, very easygoing person.
I know,
So
right?
how
You look at me and you don't see somebody who has mental health issues.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
how do you manage this state? How do you control it? What helps you with it? Does itself, the being online and being aware and doing these things, control your problem, or how does it work?
Uh, I was not always I did not start off willing to share my story openly, but I I after therapy sessions with my psychiatrist, she also encouraged me to help others because when we help others, we help ourselves, and that was what really got me thinking. I have a story to tell, and and mental health issues are not something that is openly discussed in normal conversations. And I think it is important to normalize talking about mental health just as it is normal for us to talk about diabetes, about heart problems, about hypertension, all those physical ailments. Mental health issues are also illnesses that need to be treated. So, and on a day-to-day basis, what do I do? Well, I try not to think about my condition, my mental disorder, as something that is a hindrance for me to to achieve what I want in life, to live my life the way I want to. I I have to figure out how to work around it, because admittedly there will be times that I won't be this bubbly, I won't be this, all made up and dressed to the nines. I admittedly there will be times where I will just slip, um, but I cannot let it control my life. I should be the one who control the disorder, the illness, not let it control me.
And if you are someone who is helping out, because it's also harder for the families, right? It's different, and sometimes I don't know. I just want to give a hug or I want to give a help, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe the
Mm-hmm.
person doesn't need the hug or it will just trigger something else. So how does the family react? What is the good way to react? How can the family help in these cases, or if they have someone in the family who needs support?
Um, the first thing that we always need is a safe space for us to talk and share whatever it is in our minds, especially when we are in that condition, in having a depressive episode or hypomanic episode. We're not really thinking straight. So what family members, what friends can do is to listen without judgment, set aside whatever your personal belief, set aside your own prejudice, and just listen, because there is no right or wrong in this case. It's what the other person is feeling, and it's valid. Don't don't try to minimize what the person is saying by saying, a whole lot of other people are going through worse situations, and you should be grateful you have so many things in life. That is called minimizing what the person is feeling, and that will only discourage that person from sharing more. So what you can do is, just the first thing is, create a safe space for your family members to talk openly about their mental state, and with no judgment. And if somebody in your family feels that they need professional help, do encourage them to do so, because the sooner you get treatment for it, I suppose the better your chances are at getting better.
So very important to create a safe base. So basically,
Yep.
even if no one has any problems in a family, to create a very safe place in a family, it can give a lot of how you say that, protection, and it can give
Yes.
a prevention basically for all
Hmm.
the issues coming up later, right? So
Yeah.
important to make that. And in Malaysia, I know that you are working in this field, you are helping people, you are a first aider, you are working with organizations. So do you know some numbers? Do you know the raise of the mental health issues of suicide? I heard a lot of things that it was going up in the last 2 years like crazy in Malaysia.
Mhm.
So do you know more details about it?
Um, I think, in if I'm not mistaken, the last statistics that I read was that the police department, the statistics show that um, there are at least two suicide cases per day on average since since January this year to May this year, January to May. So that is a lot. I mean,
Yes, that is
one
a lot.
life lost, like my friend Alia always says, one life lost is one too many. So two a day is, I think, is very, very problematic, and we should address it right here, right now. And we should not sweep this thing under the rug and pretend it's not happening, because it is.
Yes, it is, and this is something that needs to be in the in the spotlight a little bit, so that at least everyone knows about it. And if you are
Mm-hmm.
a family member, what are the things that you can look out for? Signs? Do you know some signs, some help if someone is realizing that someone is really depressed, looks like very sad? What are the signs that can say that you have to take it seriously and check on that person a little bit more often?
Um, the first thing, I think, well, it's from my experience. what happened to me was that I lost interest to do anything that I used to love to do. I love makeup, and I would wear makeup to go to the bathroom if I had my way. But um, during those episodes, I I would just stop. I felt like, what's the point of putting on makeup? There's no hope. There is no reason for me to put on makeup at all. And I just completely let myself go. I didn't put on makeup at all for, well, a few months really. And I mean, yeah, I don't wake up in the morning looking like this. So so yeah, that's when that is one of the signs when somebody loses interest in the things they normally like to do. Like, let's say somebody loves playing football, and then out of the blue he just stops for a very, very long time. And also isolation. In my case, isolation is also one thing to look out for. I just didn't want to meet anyone. I just wanted to be by myself. I didn't even want to get out of bed. Getting out of bed felt like it took up so much of my energy to just wake up. And I even found myself getting angry every morning that I woke up. I wish I didn't have to wake up. Like, why am I awake? I should be sleeping. And because when I'm asleep, I could not feel any pain. That was my escape. Sleep was my escape. So
Mhm.
yeah, isolation is also one thing that you should look out for.
So isolation, loss of interest, and not doing
Mm.
things that you really loved
Mhm.
before. Those are the
Yeah.
signs that people can look out for.
Mm.
Very, very good tips here, and really nice information. So if anyone is watching, we were talking about bipolar disorder, mental health issues, and how you can track it, how you can help others, what are the approaches to do it, and we were also talking about Afzan's survival story. And
Mhm.
I'm really, really happy to have you here in the studio today. We have a few more minutes, and I know that you have something to announce. So maybe we could just do the announcement and play the little teaser that you brought.
Yes. Okay. Um, the organization that I am volunteering with now, Yayasan Zuriat Care, we are organizing a concert, a charity concert on 10th of October in conjunction with World Mental Health Day. And it's the concert is free, but as you watch you can always just click on the link to donate, because whatever funds that we get from this concert, and also in any other programs that we organize, we will use it for our activities that will help people, help those in need, in the mental health, people with mental health issues that probably cannot seek help elsewhere. So whatever little amount that you can spare is very, very much appreciated, and we can assure you that it will go to the people who needs it. And I believe I um, uh, we have the concert teaser here that Andrea will play now. You can go ahead and play. Can you play it now, Andrea? Hello.
Yes, you can play.
Oh,
Yes, it
oh,
was
sorry.
perfect. Yes, no, no
Sorry,
problem.
the
Sorry, I was
problem
mute.
with live shows. That's, yeah, technical issues. Okay, so here's a teaser, and I hope you enjoy it. Yay!
Beautiful, beautiful. And
Thank you.
the concert is totally online, right?
Yes, it will be on Yes and React Yes YouTube channel. The link will be out, I believe, tomorrow, and we will share the link with everyone on our social media, our Instagram. follow us on Instagram. Follow camellia.yzc on Instagram, ourwife.malaysia on Instagram, Zuriat Care on Instagram, and you'll get all the links there.
What time will it start?
It will start at 8:30 Malaysian
8:30
time.
p.m., right?
Yes, 8:30
Okay.
p.m. There will be a whole lot of very, very good artists like Atilia, Dina Nazir, Mimi Fly, Reshmonu, Vince Chong, Jacqueline Victor, one of my favorites, and Adibano, and Wani
Nice.
Aji, and Black Hanifa. I feel like I have to mention everyone, but I keep forgetting some of the
No problem.
names.
Once you have the link, then I will post it on the website, and then we can put it up, and we can help you to spread the news around.
Yay!
It
Thank
will be
you.
perfect. Just send it to me, and I will put it on the Global Empowerment Hub website. No problem. Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much,
much.
Afzan. It was really,
Yeah,
really nice to have you and have all the details and insights. And really, thank you very much for being here. It was a pleasure, and
it's my pleasure to be here.
we will meet soon at your workshop, and I'm
Yes,
really, really
my
happy.
workshop is on the same day as the concert. The concert
Yes,
is at night,
exactly.
and my workshop will be in the afternoon.
Exactly, exactly. You already found the workshop and the title on the website of the Global
Yep.
Empowerment Hub. Thank you
Yes.
very much and
Bye,
see you.
Andrea.
Bye bye. So now we are heading over to Felix to the Zoom room, the workshop room, and I will see you there. And we will have an amazing workshop about how to sell your product. So be very, very curious and show up at the workshop room. Bye bye.